Hello, I'm Angie Austin with Oil and Gas 360, and we are here at the 2017 EnerCom Oil and Gas Conference, and we're joined today by Chris Boswel, CEO. He is back. He is with EcoStim Energy, and the CEO of that company. Welcome back, Chris.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Are you enjoying the conference?
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
We present this afternoon. So
oh, wonderful. Okay. Well, let's get started. EcoStim is an oil field services and tech company. You previously worked primarily in Latin America.
Right.
So let's talk about your operations today and the focus of your company today.
Yeah, it's changed quite a bit. You know, we started our business down in Argentina, and our first full year of operations was 2015. And, you know, flat-footed startup back in 14 and got it going. We have done a good job of deploying frac spreads down there. We put a 25,000 horsepower spread into place, and we've operated down there since then. We just signed a 2-year contract with YPF, which started on April 1st of this year. So that's kind of cemented our position down there in that market. And then recently we rotated and pivoted back to the United States. You know, we had introduced some interesting technology around pumping using gas turbines, and we have about by October we'll have about 120,000 horsepower deployed in Oklahoma under a couple of contracts that we've signed this year. So going forward, about 80% of our revenue is going to be coming out of the U.S. market.
Well, speaking of Oklahoma, let's talk a little bit more about your expansion into Oklahoma.
Yeah, we saw the U.S. market starting to pick up in activity again late last year, and we signed a contract in January with Mid-States Petroleum to do the completion work for them up in the Mississippi Lime Formation. We established a base up in Fairview, Oklahoma.
Okay.
We've hired quite a few people. I think we've got 80 people working out of that base now, and that's going to expand to most likely around 120 by October. So that was the lead contract, and then we just signed a new contract with another operator in July, which will start another operation in October. So growing quite rapidly now.
Yeah,
so.
Sounds like it. Let's talk about the comparison between Argentina compared to the U.S. market.
Yeah.
What you like better about one, or comparatively the differences?
Yeah, the U.S. market is very sensitive to oil prices, and so we have taken advantage of that opportunity now that oil prices have come off the bottom and back up close to $50. But what we like about Argentina is the natural gas prices down there are set by the government, and they're at $7.50 an MCF, and it falls to $6 in 2021. So you're above $6 an MCF for the next 5 years, and there's companies like Exxon and Shell and Chevron and BP, YPF investing a lot of money now in gas production, because the country of Argentina imports about half of what they use in gas every day. So that's been an area that will grow substantially over the next few years. So we preserve that position. In the U.S. market, you know, we've got contracts in place for 1 year on one crew, and then we'll start another 1-year contract in October. And so as we build equipment into that market that should pay for itself within the next 2 years, we'll have the option to move equipment from an oil-driven market to a gas-driven market, the gas-driven market being protected by high gas prices. So we like that optionality. That's something we feel we have established in our company that most of our competitors don't enjoy. So.
All right, let's talk a little bit about capital. Recently you recapitalized the company. What is the liquidity now, and how is this going to add to your growth going forward?
Yeah, we've done basically 3 transactions this year. We brought in Fir Tree Partners in March, and they bought all the existing debt from Albright Capital Management at par, and then they injected about $17 million of new capital so we could get the operation going in Oklahoma. Then in early July, we raised $15 million in a private placement with our 2 largest shareholders to expand the operation in Oklahoma and to support the new 2-year contract with YPF down in Argentina. And then in mid-July, we signed a new contract, which required us to raise additional capital for more equipment, and we completed a $28 million private placement with a number of institutional investors just 2 weeks ago, priced at the market. So we brought in probably $60 million of fresh capital this year to expand our operations, mostly in the U.S., but also to support the 2-year contract down in Argentina.
So you did a lot of overtime.
We've been busy. Yeah, we've been very busy this year. It's been quite transformational. So,
well, this will recap a little bit. A lot obviously has happened with the company over the last 6 months. So, in terms of if you were going to quickly summarize your successes, I think that's quite a bit of it right there. But give us a quick summary of the successes.
Yeah, I think we still see Argentina as a tremendous long-term opportunity. It suffered quite a lot last year with the low oil prices, and a lot of the drilling rigs down there started drilling for natural gas. As we go back to drilling for gas now down there, that market's going to continually get better. But the U.S. market offers us a nice opportunity to get good returns on our assets over the next 2 to 3 years, and to build out our capacity so that we can rotate assets between the markets as necessary. And in summary, we signed a contract in January to get into the U.S. We recapitalized the company in March. We signed a contract with YPF down in Argentina in April-May timeframe. Then we started the operation in late May in Oklahoma. Then we got all of our debt off our books in mid-June. So all of the debt in the company was converted as a convertible note, was all converted into equity, leaving the company with no debt on June the 20th. And then from there, we've signed the new contract and raised the capital to support the existing contracts. So yeah, it's been a very, very busy 6-month period.
Yeah.
But now the company is positioned with no debt in 2 growth markets, one driven by oil, one driven by gas. And we're going to look for other opportunities to deploy capital as long as we can get good returns where the assets are paid for in the first 2.5 years. Yeah. It makes sense to us right now.
So lots happened in the last 3 years.
It's been a very active period. Much more fun now that we're growing again.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, thank you, Chris. Right. Again, Chris Boswel, CEO with EcoStim Energy. I'm Angie Austin with Oil and Gas 360 here at the 2017 EnerCom Oil and Gas Conference. Thanks for joining us.